CTV News at 5 with Tony Ryma and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. So glad you're with us on this Thursday. Police in North Bay are looking for the public's help after a crossing guard was struck by a vehicle last week. Police say the collision happened around 8:45 a.m. May 20th at the intersection of Prince Edward Drive and Summit Drive. The crossing guard suffered minor injuries. The victim couldn't identify the vehicle or driver because they fled the scene. Police are looking for witnesses or cell phone, dash cam, or security camera footage of the incident. They're also reminding motorists to slow down in school zones and pay attention to crossing guards who play a vital role in children's safety.
What people don't realize is that the stop sign that the crossing guards carry has the same legal authority as a stop sign on the corner of the street. The maximum penalty is $1,000 and 4 demerit points. You know, people just need to start paying attention to what's in front of them, keep their eyes on the road.
And police in North Bay say this is the second crossing guard to be hit in the last 7 months. All right, let's talk about the weather now. Another nice day out there and seasonal temperatures. For more details, let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman. Rick.
Tony, unlike the Montreal Canadiens, we caught a break when it comes to something like weather. Remember all that rain I was talking about for tomorrow? 60% chance, 40%, 30%. For the most part, it's not going to happen. First Take on Weather brought to you by CAA. Get your membership today at caa.ca. Our systems map, courtesy of Environment Canada. Not that bad. Some areas will get maybe a 30% chance, 40% chance of a shower. We'll talk about that in the 5-day forecast, but I've got to say that as we talk about summer weather and summer temperatures and conditions, the weather forecast that you are going to see in just a couple of minutes is probably the best one we've had since probably late last summer. I'm very proud of that. So, Tony, I think you'll like it too.
Thanks for that, Rick. 2 trailers on Panel Mine Road have been destroyed by fire in Elliott Lake. Crews responded to the blaze yesterday morning, finding 2 trailers engulfed in flames. Firefighters were able to contain the blaze to the 2 trailers and protect nearby trees. No one was injured, and the fire has been deemed accidental in nature. Provincial police in Kirkland Lake have released information today about a major drug bust last week. More than $176,000 in suspected fentanyl and crystal meth were seized May 19th as part of an investigation. A warrant was executed for a home on Government Road East where police seized the drugs along with weapons and other items used in trafficking. A 49-year-old man from Kirkland Lake was arrested. Leaders in mining, automotive, energy, and government were in Sudbury today for a conference that normally focuses on the battery and electric economy. But this year, the focus shifted to critical minerals. CTV's Angela Gemmell reports.
Autonomous, zero-emissions vehicles. These are just prototypes, but are an example of what's possible from Canadian collaboration.
There's a lot of excitement around that Canadian innovation and being a little bit more boastful about what we can do and not being as shy to show it.
The prototypes are part of a national initiative called Project Arrow and show how Canada's critical minerals can be used. They were the main attraction at the BEV In-Depth conference in Sudbury.
We have, our critical minerals. We have some of the defense stuff with robotics. We have, looking to the future with mining. So it's really kind of a mixed bag of, but I think the end result is, critical minerals feed into all these different aspects, all these different industries.
Jeff Golin from Valley Base Metals was part of a panel on how Canada can build a sovereign critical mineral supply chain from exploration and extraction to processing and manufacturing. There are gaps in the supply chain, though.
The product needs to be turned into something like a battery, like a car, like a telecommunications satellite. And so we need to have more manufacturers here in Canada or abroad that want those Canadian minerals. That's where the gap is turning our finished nickel into final products.
When those gaps are closed, collaborations like Project Arrow is the result.
What you're seeing behind us is the combination of several dozen suppliers, partners, education systems, and other members in the ecosystem bringing together the technology and the innovation to develop these 2 vehicles.
Angela Gemmell, CTV News, Sudbury.
Leaders in mining, automotive, energy, and government were in Sudbury today for a conference that, well, we just had that story. Let's talk about homelessness, and it's a growing challenge in Timmins, and officials with the Cochrane District Services Board say more coordination, funding, and housing options are needed. CTV's Lydia Chubak has more.
There are a number of different
Officials with the Cochrane District Services Board say poverty, rising living costs, and limited access to health care are driving more people into crisis. The District Services Board receives about $6 million in provincial homelessness funding, plus about $1 million through the federal Reaching Home program. However, officials say the board still has not received its provincial homelessness prevention funding allocation for this year, making it difficult to plan new programs and housing initiatives.
We're coming into June now. We still don't have our homelessness prevention program allocation for this year or the next 2 years.
At a recent meeting, Timmins City councillors passed a resolution requesting more government support.
I'm just exasperated. We take the brunt of the blame for an issue that is largely provincial and federal responsibility, to at least come to the table and give us a dedicated stream of funds to do this.
With adequate funding, Cochrane District Services Board hopes to expand supportive and transitional housing options in Timmins, including possible uses for buildings it owns on Spruce Street South and in South Porcupine.
Because we have to start focusing on keeping people out of homelessness and out of shelter, because once, people enter a shelter system, it's difficult to get out.
Marks adds the district's geared to income housing wait list remains at about 2,000 people, roughly matching the number of available units.
The flows into poverty and homelessness are much greater than any one particular municipality can possibly resource to stem that tide.
Marks says while municipalities are doing what they can, homelessness is a national issue which will require coordinated action from all levels of government. He adds a community leaders meeting planned for late June involving municipalities and First Nation leaders could help create a more unified strategy across the region. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
It's time for a quick break. Coming up on CTV News at 5, Rick has your full weather forecast. Right now, let's head to Batchewana Bay, north of Sault Ste. Marie. This live webcam is courtesy of Jake Cormier. It's of Lake Superior. It's 15 degrees in Batchewana. We're back in a few minutes.
When you see it happen, send it to CTV News. Text 10400. From your screen to ours. Text 10400.
I've got the forecast you don't want to miss. You're really going to like this one, perhaps the best one since, well, late last summer, as I suggested. Forecast radar, clouds moving in, maybe the chance of showers, singular, plural, or tomorrow in some areas, but it's a lot better than what I first told you about last night. So we'll get into that momentarily. There we have some clear skies and some warmer temperatures. So let's get at it and check out the forecast that you'll love. Here we go. Sudbury, Nickel Belt, cloud clearing. So mainly cloudy tomorrow morning, then clearing. 23 Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. What a streak. Sunny skies, sun and cloud, 20, 21, 20. You're starting things off with your weekend tomorrow at 23. How about that? Meanwhile, in the Soo, even better. 5 consecutive days of sunny skies, starting off at 20 tomorrow, 20 Saturday, 21 Sunday, 19 Monday, and Tuesday, also 19. No complaints. Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing, a bit of a deviation here. 40% chance of showers, maybe overnight into the early morning. 17, then clearing. 20 Saturday, 20 Sunday, 20 Monday, and 21 Tuesday, sun and clouds. So close, almost there. Temiskaming Shores, Kirkland Lake, chance of showers tomorrow. Again, that's at 30%, 20 your high. Saturday 20, Sunday 20, Monday 20, and Tuesday sun and cloud also at 20. Forecast tonight is easy. North Bay, West Nipissing, sun and cloud at 20 tomorrow, 19 Saturday, 20 on Sunday, Monday sunshine at 20, and 19 Tuesday, sun and cloud. Tony, if anyone wants to complain about this forecast, they can call me right now, because really there are no complaints as far as we're concerned. You're going to get loads of sunshine over the course of the next couple of days, and the temperatures, in case anyone's wondering, yeah, it might be a bit breezy, could be cool at night, but really the temperatures, according to Environment Canada, my guide, by the way, pretty well normal for this time of the year. So get ready to enjoy the sunshine, one and all, because it's happening as of tomorrow. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. A committee of North Bay Council voted this week to decommission and demolish the West Ferris Arena. The recommendation is now heading to Council next Tuesday for final approval. This followed debate that highlighted North Bay's long-term ice needs, facility condition, and future plans for the recreation complex. A study determined that North Bay doesn't need 6 ice pads, and the master plan for recreational facilities concluded that there is no operational need for the arena. Councillor Tanya Vraybosch argued the process to get to this point has been all wrong.
My question is that we asked for the building condition assessment. We didn't get the building condition assessment, but what we got was, here's our recommendation to demolish, and here's what it could look like, and the beauty of what it could look like when we've asked only less than 1% of the population.
The report revealed over the past 10 years, the city has done the bare minimum to keep the arena operational. The West Ferris Arena was built in 1967 at the Sam Jacks Recreation Complex. The state of emergency in French River has been lifted following severe flooding 6 weeks ago. The municipality made the announcement on social media yesterday, ending a flood crisis that began April 15th. Mayor Giselle Pajot says warmer weather has lowered water levels. She adds that while the emergency is officially over, several areas are still being monitored by emergency services, and some local businesses are still facing challenges.
Especially for our tourist operators, because they're still in recovery mode and probably right on the cusp of emergency still, because many of them have not been able to open. So I'm hoping that with the water levels going down rather quickly, that our tourist operators will be able to reopen and serve our wonderful tourists that look forward to coming here.
Pajot says boaters are still being asked not to cause wakes while out on the water, as it is causing damage to flood-weakened shorelines. Home sales took a dive in April across the Northeast, according to the Canadian Real Estate Association. Sales in Sudbury dropped more than 35% from the same time last year, the highest drop of the major cities in the region. The average sale price in Sudbury was up almost 3% over 2025. Sault Ste. Marie also had a major decline, with home sales dropping 32.5% compared to last year in April, with home prices also coming down. Timmins saw a decline of 15.5%, with home prices up by 1.7%. North Bay was the only major center to see an increase in home sales last month. Sales were up 2% despite a 14% jump in house prices. It's a partnership between the YMCA and Ontario Provincial Police. Coming up on CTV News at 5, a camp experience this summer to help Indigenous teens learn several things, including leadership skills. Police in Sault Ste. Marie have expanded the service's online reporting site for non-emergency crimes. Members of the public can now report 10 different crimes and submit video evidence directly through the platform while submitting a report. The platform also includes access to the security camera, bicycle, and wandering or vulnerable persons registry. Originally launched in 2020, the site was to report fraud and scams, as well as unsafe driving concerns and traffic issues. Community members came together today for the grand opening of an affordable senior housing development in French River. CTV's Madison Merrier tells us more.
The French River Horizon has 30 units with 29 already filled with residents. Officials say the housing development has brought in many people to the community, but also allows more people to age in Noelville.
Our seniors, it came to an age they had nowhere to go. Their houses were too big. They wanted to downsize. They had to move out of our community. Moved to neighboring Sudbury, neighboring North Bay.
I sold my house, moved to Batascan, Quebec, was there for 28 months and decided, okay, I'm moving back home again.
Our friends that live here come over and we have our 5 o'clock happy hour and they love it. Yes, it's very nice here. I'm very happy to be here.
The development was built with accessibility in mind to ensure seniors can age in place while maintaining independence.
What makes me happy is that our long-standing citizens don't have to go to Sudbury or Sturgeon Falls for their senior years, the best years of their life. And this complex offers them, security. It's made for people with mobility issues.
Prevost says the units are situated right beside the paramedic station with a connecting gate to ensure fast access to health care.
They offer PSWs, homemaking, and all sorts of other services that seniors need, depending how old or what kind of condition they are. And then we're working with the health unit and the dentist to make sure that they are physically and mentally okay. And that's the beauty of being here.
The project was envisioned by Noelville's first mayor in the 1970s, and Prevost says the dream is now a reality for the small community. Madison Merrier, CTV News, Noelville.
The YMCA of Northeastern Ontario and provincial police are teaming up to support an overnight summer camp experience in August for Indigenous youth at the Y's John Island camp near Spanish. Nigon Moswak runs over 4 days for youth ages 13 to 17. Organizers say this camp experience is designed to help youth develop leadership skills, assist with their cultural connection, confidence building, and develop a strong sense of belonging.
So I look at my home community of Henby Inlet First Nation. There's been multiple kids from Henby Inlet that have come and experienced it, and firsthand I've seen the difference and impacts that one, a network can make, and one, a understanding and belief of who you are.
There was an incredible alignment of values and purpose between what we do and what both the OPP and this program delivers. Really, it was a natural fit.
Financial barriers to participation have been removed to ensure youth can access this opportunity at no cost. A protest in Canada over new AI data centers. When we return, our weekly Tech Talk segment. You're watching First Informed. We have plenty to discuss in this week's Tech Talk, from artificial intelligence to booking a flight. To break it all down for us, let's bring in cybersecurity and tech analyst Ritesh Kotak. He joins us from St. John's, Newfoundland. Hi there, Ritesh.
Hello.
Hundreds marched in opposition to AI data centers in Vancouver. Why the opposition?
So a lot of the opposition is coming from the potential environmental concerns that these data centers pose. Look, one of the most expensive parts of running a data center is the cooling. It takes a lot of energy to power these data centers. In addition to that, to cool, it takes a lot of water. Now, there has been a lot of innovations when it comes to environmental sustainability, but not as quickly as the demand for these data centers is increasing. And a lot of individuals are upset about it. However, we're trying to balance this with this notion that we do need our own data sovereignty. AI is obviously being a big part of the conversation. And in order to be able to have our physical sovereignty, we need digital sovereignty as well. So this has turned into a balancing act between making sure that we have the capacity as a country, but at the same time, not putting environmental sustainability on the back burner.
Okay, Google is set to release its first smart glasses since Google Glass flop. Tell us more.
Yeah, so I think we all hopefully remember the Google Glass, the old one back in 2013. I think they discontinued it shortly after in 2014, 2015. But it was these horrendous looking things that you would put on your, essentially a computer on your face, and it just never caught on. However, in the last little bit, especially with the success that Meta has had with their smart glasses and their partnership with Ray-Ban, a lot of big tech companies are getting back into the mix. In fact, we've seen huge growth in intelligent eyewear. So these glasses that look stylish, but also have connectivity built into them. So Google is getting back into it. They're expected to launch their glasses in the fall. And I think we're all going to be looking at this very closely to see what this means for the future of wearables.
Ritesh, I'm wondering, what about the privacy concerns? What are the laws around it?
There is no additional laws around these wearable tech. In fact, you're allowed to wear them in public places. You can record, obviously, if you're going into a private establishment, there may be rules or policies that you cannot record inside a particular location. The rules around voyeurism still apply as well. But are there separate laws to keep up with the advancements in technology? The short answer is no. It's the current legal regime that we have.
Okay, a viral video says booking a flight at a library is cheaper. Is it? Does booking a flight from another device or location make a difference in price?
I've always thought about it. I read that. I read the article, and I did my own test as well. Here's the short answer. No, we're going to bust the myth. It actually doesn't. Yes, pricing does change. There's dynamic pricing based on demand. There might be sales. These prices are changing quite frequently. But if you were to essentially book and be in one location and have someone looking at the exact same flight in another location, those prices should be the same. So it seems like this viral video, unfortunately, this is a myth.
Okay, Ritesh, thanks so much for your time. Always appreciate our conversations.
Thank you so much for having me.
Ritesh Kotak was our guest. And to see more of our Tech Talk segments, head to our website, CTV News Northern Ontario.ca. Our first community close-up comes to us from Sault Ste. Marie. The main branch of the public library is hosting a Pride movie screening and button making on Sunday, May 31st. It's running from 2 p.m. until 4:30. The film is Parade, Queer Acts of Love and Resistance. After the movie, you can make a vintage-inspired Pride button with all supplies provided. To North Bay, and Cindy Lou Heppenstall Brooks was walking along Kate Paceway and saw a lot of trees with thickened black sections. The blue coats at Science North tell us that is black knot or sooty mold. It is a mold fungal infection in or on a tree. I hope that helps answer your question, Cindy Lou. Let's go to Sudbury, and Nicholas snapped this photograph of a common grackle in a South End neighborhood. He says it was making a lot of noise yesterday. Maybe it's hungry or just reaching out to friends. Thanks for thinking of us, Nicholas. And if you have any pictures, videos, or events you'd like us to showcase, you can always email them to us at communitycloseup@bellmedia.ca. And there's more news for the North coming up at 6. For now, continue watching as we hand things over to CTV National News.